Navigating in the 3D viewport begins with the view cube in the top right corner. This tool allows me to quickly set a different view such as front or top. Clicking the home icon will take you to the home view, a perspective view at the 0, 0, 0 coordinates. It's an easy way to orient yourself in the 3D world. To the left side of the viewport are several drop-downs. The plus sign has options for enabling and disabling viewport tools such as the view cube. Next to that is the viewport type such as top, left, bottom, or right, as well as perspective and orthographic. Perspective simulates the real world and applies perspective to the scene. Orthographic displays the world in 2D. To the right are shading options such as wireframe or shaded. We need to view the scene from many angles. Click the home icon to reset the view. Use the middle mouse button to pan the view. Alt middle mouse button to rotate. Alt control middle mouse while moving the mouse to zoom. Scrolling the wheel will zoom as well, but is not as smooth and moves in jumps. These are the basic controls. There are many more shortcut keys to learn along the way. I currently have a single viewport full screen. Press the Alt-W key to toggle full screen. This is called a quad view. By right-clicking the menu bar, I can open the Viewport Layout tab. From here, I can choose from preset view layouts to have open in tabs to quickly switch between them. These take up RAM. The more you have open, the more memory you will want to have on your machine. Let's clean up our scene a little. Select multiple objects by holding the Control key and left-clicking the objects. Hitting Delete will delete the selected objects. In the toolbar, we have various selection tools. Select Object allows me to select an object but not move it. Select by Name shows a list of all objects in the scene. The Select Region tools modify the shape and mode for marquee selections, that is, clicking and dragging to select objects. In crossing mode, just touching an object with the marquee will select it. In window mode, the object must be surrounded by the marquee to be selected. In this case, only the teapot was selected. Next are the main selection tools: Select and Move, Select and Rotate, and Select and Scale. The shortcut keys for these are Q for Select, W for Move, E for Rotate, and R for Scale. The last selection tool is Select and Place. This tool moves and orients an object to the face under the cursor. When I select an object, information about the object is displayed in the Modify tab and at the bottom below the time slider. The Move tool gives me a widget that allows me to move the object in 3D space. By clicking on the colored handles, I can move the object on one axis at a time. Blue, or the Z-axis, is up and down. Red, the X-axis, is left to right. Green, the Y-axis, is forward and backward. Take note of the numbers changing below the time slider. These are the 3D coordinates of the object. The Rotation tool has a different widget but is basically the same. Click the solid line to rotate the object on that axis. With this tool, the numbers below the time slider now represent the object's rotation. Always try to scale the object uniformly, as non-uniform scaling can cause problems when animating an object. The Select and Place tool lets me move and orient an object to any face in the scene interactively. All of these tools work off the object's pivot point. The pivot point's position in 3D space corresponds with the widget. The widgets allow for movement in more than just the basic axis. Experiment by clicking in different parts of the widget and see how the object reacts. The snapping tools, they look like magnets, control if the movement, rotation, or scaling will be free or if it will snap to a certain value or object. Click to activate or deactivate snapping. Right-click to bring up the options menu. Right-clicking different areas on the interface will often bring up additional menus. Finally, it is important to note that there are various coordinate systems in Max, and they will determine how the object orients itself. Two of which are the World System, where 0, 0, 0 on the X, Y, and Z is the center of the 3D world, shown here as the intersection of the two black lines. Position and rotation are measured in reference to that position and rotation. Local orientation measures from the object's pivot point, with it being 0, 0, 0. If I rotate the teapot on the z-axis, then try to pour out of it by rotating on the y-axis in the world coordinates, the teapot will not rotate properly. But if I switch to local coordinates, the x, y, and z now line up with the teapot and I can pour the tea. There's much more to learn and explore in 3ds Max. I encourage you to experiment and spend as much time as you can in the program. There is no substitute for time spent exploring the program. That's it for this video. In future videos we will explore basic texturing, lighting, and rendering.